This is a story of the scary child catcher and witch from the famous film Chitty Chitty Bang Bang. This guy, this figure has to be the most terrifying character in cinematic history. The child catcher is the very definition of the phrase stranger danger. And he's a creepy, evil, scary, nasty, tricky and devious man who despises children even more than his employers in the film. And his presence on the screen still gives me the chills as much as he did when I first saw him many moons ago to this day. He was just chilling and frightening to a level that you can't comprehend. So the child catcher is a fictional character in the 1968 film Chitty Chitty Bang Bang, and in the later stage musical adaptation, which is based on the 1964 English children's novel of the same name by the late Ian Fleming, and remains one of the most sinister children's film characters ever. Now, rather surprisingly though, the fearsome character was actually played by one of Australia's most talented ballet dancers, Sir Robert Helpmann. The child catcher is a secondary antagonist in the film, and he was employed by the Baron and Baroness Bombburst to snatch and imprison children on the streets of Bulgaria, and he had a pathological hatred of kids, and in fact he hates them so much that he went to great lengths to capture them, even to the point of luring them out of hiding with sweets, his musical overtures from his sweets van, and his enticing voice where he offered the children the world in terms of sweets. They're all free today. Cherry pie, cream puffs, ice cream, treacle tarts. Whoa, this dude was scary. The child catcher did not appear in Ian Fleming's original book, and it was thought that Roald Dahl, the co-author of the film's screenplay, had actually created the character of the child catcher. Now, Roald Dahl's screenplay was then heavily rewritten by Ken Hughes, who was the director, and he went on to say that it was his idea behind creating the character of the child catcher. So in Chitty Chitty Bang Bang, Bulgaria is portrayed as a domain where children are forbidden by law, and this is reflected mainly by the Baroness's intense dislike for kids. And so the child catcher / witch's role is to enforce this law by locating and capturing any children who are still hiding within Bulgaria and bring them in as prisoners. The child catcher is a slender man, dressed in a dark outfit with long stringy black hair, brown eyes, pale skin and a long, large pointed nose, complete with a top hat, and he was wielding a large butterfly net-like contraption to ensnare his young victims wherever they were hiding. What made him even more sinister was his eerie, chilling and high-pitched voice, accompanied by his exaggerated dancing and flamboyant movements, all adding to his terrifying demeanour, which made him one of the most memorable and frightening villains in children's literature and film. The child catcher operated in a wholly malevolent nature, where he used deceitful, twisted tricks and disguises to lure any stray children out of hiding, and then the probing and investigation to find them. There are children here somewhere, I can smell them, all added to his darkness and his malevolence. Then, in that infamous scene where the child catcher is first seen driving his prison wagon into the village square, with his wagon decorated in a whimsical fun fashion, and he himself dressed in a lovely, resplendent and colourful garb to lure the children out of hiding. When he gets to the village square, he begins to sniff around for any traces of children, and he soon picks up the scent and believes that the children in question may be hiding in the toy store. It was here that he begins to entice the kids out of their places of hiding, with the juxtaposition of inviting promises of sweets and treats, but yet, as we, the audience, all knew, the sinister intentions behind his overt sweetness is what enhanced his role as a terrifying character, and one that was feared amongst audiences for years, than even to this day. In that one scene, when he is peering down the window of the shop and where he sees the children, Jeremy and Jemima, for the first time, is the stuff of nightmares. That is just pure evil. Ironically though, Helpmann, who was 59 years old at the time of the film's release, was actually a truly lovely and revered person behind the scenes. And Helpmann's child co-stars recalled that the actor loved children and was extremely kind to them, often making them laugh between takes. And so this made it difficult for them to pretend to be afraid of him. It was in 2005 the child catcher was voted the scariest villain in children's books ever, and his legacy still lives on. I would agree with that, but forget about just children's characters. I think that this cross-generational villain monster witch child catcher has continued to haunt audiences for many years and will continue to do so. He done well and will forever go down in history as the most sinister character for many people. Anyone for some lollipops? Listen, thanks for watching. See you again soon. Cheers.